Hello friends, time for another Friday foray into some foreign front pages on football. That's the effing intro out the way. Let's get stuck into the stories. Champions League this week, which means treats like this. A tractor, an Alex Ferguson tractor, overturned, as indeed Man United were by Turkish side Galatasaray this week. Papers there in Turkey with a delighted Fatih Terim on top with what you'd have to call a tractor beam, and underneath the line, whoever said the mountains are green was wrong. Yesterday they were yellow and red. Well, in Spain there were plenty of delighted headlines too, with all four Spanish sides through, or all three Spanish sides and the Catalan. One Barcelona, of course, who were spectacular away there in Moscow, a 3-0 win for them there. Malaga through as well, leaders of their group despite a draw in St. Petersburg. The leaders who came out of the cold. It was a draw for Valencia against Bayern Munich, impressively enough, to the knockouts like heroes. And Real Madrid 1-1 for them, but as Marca explained, it was against 12 men. Italy, you had Anderlecht beaten 3-1 by Milan. An amazing overhead kick by Mexes, getting a little picture there, but the big headline for this fellow, Stephen El Shaarawy. Milan on the crest of a wave, 12 goals already for the 20-year-old, and most importantly of all, says the paper's editorial, Silvio Berlusconi can no longer ask him to get his hair cut again, as he did last week. That's Silvio, always on the lookout for trim. In other Italian news, you had Juve beating Chelsea. Juve, you're enormous. We have steamrolled the kings of Europe, says the Corriere dello Sport. And of course, the subsequent dismissal of Di Matteo, the Di Matteo KO, getting plenty of surprise coverage, as did Rafa Benitez's arrival at Stamford Bridge. Spanish press telling their readers of the rough reception that awaits Rafa there. Talk of a fan boycott. That's all Chelsea needs, more ineffective strikers. Sport, meanwhile, in the Catalan capital, explained that Roman only called Benitez because Pep turned down a blank cheque. Says Guardiola, I don't want to hear any offers until January, and I'm not going to manage for the rest of this season. All well and good, but of course the biggest story of this week's action wasn't any of those tales, but this fellow here, Luis Adriano, and a goal so dastardly even Suarez would have thought twice before scoring it. Tuesday in Copenhagen, Adriano transgressing the unwritten law, scooping up the ball, the Brazilian, while his team were giving it back to the opposition from a stoppage and firing it into the almost undefended net. Well, for the Danes, it is the rascally Shakhtar scandal. Shakhtar grotesque, as BT rather cleverly puts it. Extra Bladet, though, in no mood for joking around. The Samba swindler, they call Adriano there. We say swine Adriano must be punished. Fueling the Danes' rage was the fact they were 1-0 up when he scored and went on to lose 5-2, with said Samba swindler grabbing a hat-trick. Reveals the Bladet, we cornered Adriano at the shops at Copenhagen Airport, where unrepentant he told us, I am pleased with all my 3 goals, including the first, and this rather nice cushion I bought for my neck for the flight. Extra Bladet points out that the Bossa Nova bandit receives a significant bonus for each goal he scores for Shakhtar. They conclude, fair play, my bare ask, it's all about money. Well, UEFA have now charged Luis with anti-sporting behaviour. Denmark manager Morten Olsen arguing that if Bentner can get a 1-game ban, as he did in the Euros, for showing that he's not Nicholas, Adriano should be punished more severely. Well, it is a story that brought condemnation from all over Europe. Bild here calling it the bandit goal. Gazeta, it's a goal against fair play. So what, you might wonder, did the Ukrainian press make of it? Well, curiously little. Kiev Post has coach Mircea Lucescu saying it's a pity it happened. A little bit more in Facti e Commenti, our old favourite, who say everyone was shocked by this one. Who knows how the game would have progressed had Adriano not spat on the very notion of fair play. Fact in fact, far more excited this week by the notion that Harry Redknapp could soon be in charge of their national team, with more importantly his dog in to do their accounts. Facti reveals though that Harry has only been offered the role because Andriy Shevchenko didn't want it. Well, there are some things that we do like to see in football. Tractors, Harry at Ukraine, Snoop Dogg at Celtic. Some things, though, that we don't. And alongside Adriano in that category is fan violence. Something which we learn this week is once again on the rise in Germany. Authorities there say it's on a 12-year high. Pretty appropriate term this, because Bild's revealing that it's all fueled by drugs, amphetamines, painkillers and cocaine, all widely circulated among the fans, says the police chief. So hopped up are they, pepper spray and batons mean nothing to them. So bad is the problem that Bayern Munich, for one club, have begun installing special nude tents outside the Allianz Arena, where fans can be strip searched prior to entering. How dangerous is it exactly to go to a Bundesliga game? Well, Bild helpfully published a guide to how bad each stadium is. Eintracht Frankfurt are by far the worst, according to their data. Curiously though, their near neighbours, FSV Frankfurt, down here, have the best record of all. So quite a difference between those two Frankfurters. One is the worst and comes with sauerkrauts. The other is on something of a roll. And on that inappropriate note, that's where we'll conclude this week's review of the Continental Papers. There'll be another one along next Friday. Do join us for that then.